Neil from Essex here to talk through a feature that I explained incorrectly. During my 2-year review here of my LX 4020, I made a mistake and expressed some frustration about something, and many of you were kind enough to point out a different technique in the comments that alleviates this frustration. So today, we're going to talk about some of the things that you've taught me.
Essex, a helping hand with your land.
Now, the frustration that I expressed on my tractor was with the mechanical auto throttle setup that's on this machine. If you've run tractors for years, you usually think up here on the dash is my throttle, right? And then when I want to vary my speed, I push my pedal between forward and reverse. This tractor, though, is set up a little bit differently. It has an auto throttle feature on it that ties the hydrostatic pedal to the engine. So as you step down on the pedal and move forward a little bit, you see the engine revs up and revs down. Well, that's all well and good in most situations. If you're doing loader work, you're driving from place to place, this is a really nice feature to have. But it becomes a little problematic if you're trying to do PTO work, especially at low RPMs. I have a fertilizer spreader that I put behind my tractor, and in order to fertilize my yard, I need to be able to drive fast so that I don't over apply, but I need to be able to spin my fertilizer spreader slow so that it doesn't pulverize the fertilizer as it comes through the spinner. And that became a problem for me. There was no way that as I start to go fast, I start to spin the spreader, right? There's nothing I could do about that. Now, the thing that I did not understand at the time was that it's possible to override the pedal's auto throttle setting with the engine RPM presets. Down here on the dash, you have an A and a B setting, and that allows you to set a preset for your engine RPMs. Now, this only works if you're at dead idle, these buttons don't function. You have to bring your throttle up a little bit. And I have my A setting set to my right RPMs for my 540 PTO. So if I tap A, you'll see the engine jumps way up. I also have a B setting that's nice and slow, kind of the slow speed that I like to run my fertilizer spreader. And once I have that engine RPM locked in, as I move my tractor forward and in reverse now, you'll see the auto throttle doesn't react. It stays at that constant speed. So that gives me that method that I couldn't figure out before to be able to have low engine RPMs while having full throttle on my hydrostatic pedal to have my speed. Once you have this setting in and you're running at that constant RPM, to be able to override it, you take your throttle back to idle again and then pull it back up, and then you have mechanical manual control over your throttle again. So that's it. That's a simple function on there that allows this tractor to work a lot better. If this does annoy you overall, and after understanding this is a feature that you still don't like, there is service bulletins out there that explain to you how to go in and actually unhook the linkage that's attached to this pedal that makes this function work. However, understanding how this works, I think it can have both benefits, right? You can have that nice auto throttle control as you're doing your loader work and driving around, but still have a low speed PTO operation without over revving your implements. One of the problems with YouTube is that this is the only way to get you this information, right? We would have made some errors in that other video, but hopefully by putting a little bit of details out here about how this particular function works, if you own this tractor or you're shopping for one, know that this thing is a lot more sophisticated in this way than what even I initially understood at that point. So shop for a piece of equipment like this so we can help, or if you have parts or service needs for a machine you've already got, give us a call at Essex. We're available at 800-222-3373 or online at Essex.com. If I punch this,